Yeah, then let's get started. So, yeah, welcome to the event this evening at the French Chamber of Commerce. I'm Chun Laleh. I'm the general manager of Bearing Point, a consulting company. I'll introduce our company in a moment. I'm happy that there are so many participants today for this topic. It's around digitalization. It is around connected products. It's around RFID, something that is very relevant and which is getting more and more use cases across different industries. So it's great that you're all here, and we hope that we have a good information exchange so that you can also later on share and ask questions so that we have it a bit more interactive. So yeah, that's myself. I'm the general manager of Point, and we have Quentin here.
Hello, everyone.
He's in charge of luxury and consumer goods, and we have yeah. Oops, sorry. Be careful. Then you here, and yeah, let's go to the next. Sorry. Let's go to the next page.
Yes.
So introduction of our company. So we are from Bearing Point. We are a consulting company. We are doing management and technology consulting. We are we have a quite long history of more than 100 years. So we were a part of large auditing companies up to 2002. We were part of KPMG, and then we separated. And since then, we have our own brand. We have 77 global alliance offices. So we are a global firm. We have presence in Europe and North America and in Asia across different countries. 41 offices. And yeah, about 800 million euro revenue. So we are a global consulting company. And next page. What we do is we are helping clients from strategy to results. That's what we are saying. So especially when it comes to topics like digitalization, connected products, everything has to start with a good strategy. So it's not the technology implementation. If you start with a tool, and it's in most cases not the right way to really achieve a big step forward. So it starts with strategy and goes into initiatives, into projects, into large transformation and change, and then process and system implementation. So we are guiding our clients from strategy to results, and also the use cases that we are explaining later on is from a client from the retail industry, where we really did guide the client from the strategy and the vision for this connected product to making it happen in the stores with connected products and in the warehouse. Let's go to the next page. So our company is serving 4 different industries. We have consumer industry, which is also globally one of our key industries, where we are serving clients from retail and from the luxury business, many from France and from Germany. And we are doing business in the automotive industry, industrial equipment, chemicals, life science, and resources. And we have also banking and insurance as our business and public services. When it comes to connected products, this RFID and digital topics, it's primarily in the area of consumer industry and automotive, where this is getting more and more relevant for tracing, for tracking, for automating a lot of things, and for having more accuracy of data and yeah, more cost efficiency around that. So there are a lot of benefits of these connected products. And yeah, we wanted to make a short company introduction and not spend too much time with advertising ourselves. We want to come pretty quickly to the content of this evening, Quentin, and I think we'll now continue, and I would like to hand over.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Tim, for your introduction of Bearing Point. So today we are gonna talk about the connected products. I think probably most of you are just curious about, what is the connected products? Are you like trying to sell something? Well, actually, it's I would say it's more like a concept than product, because the connected product is empowered by the automatic identification technology, and which can benefit, as you can see, in the 3 key areas for product from the raw material and how to actually ascend the upstream traceability from a product to the components and the raw materials. And in the middle of the three areas, the authentication, is this product genuine or it's a counterfeit? And the operational traceability from the manufacturing plant into the final stores by way also of the distribution centers and the transportation centers. So all the traceability of this product from end-to-end process, we can use this technology to trace. And the operational efficiency is about all the logistic events. Then how can we be more efficient without a little bit less manual mistakes, and by using these technology to improve the efficiency. And the last, which leads us to the last area, the customer management, the customer experience in retail, in store. So also, this is the value chain from the 5 areas that we can actually use this, the connected products. So today, just I also want to ask a question. Have you ever heard about an automatic identification technology? So just maybe swipe your phone and scan the QR code, and we will see our audience is familiar with these technologies. Well, we've already prepared some tips on the answer board. Just wait a minute. I'm gonna switch to. So waiting for your answer. Okay, wait a minute. Does it work? I don't know if are you seeing just a pink board? Yeah. Now you can just click on the add button and then write the idea you have in mind. Okay, we have 2 ideas now. Sorry. Oh, so if we have another QR code here, if you didn't have time to scan and answer it. Oh, we have more and more ideas. Your field communications, entrance card, facial recognition, Metro card. Yeah, actually, Metro card is part of the near field communication. Digital mirror, barcode. Oh, we have more and more ideas. It's great. Self-checkout, sure. Identification, I will put here. We can see these ideas just pumping out. That's great. Ship authentication. Efficiency. Okay. I think we got a lot of answers on the technology side. So actually, yeah, I think some of the answers belong to the same technology category. So here, I will just share with you some the big categories. Yeah, maybe to give you also more insight on that. Let's go back. So basically, when it comes to the automatic ID technologies, yeah, the RFID, which is also the topic today, is that we know. And also, I saw some answers like NFC and the UHF. Well, it's in the same family. The difference is just the sensor distance. Maybe it's a little bit different. For example, the NFC, we use it a lot on the payment method, where you just get out your phone, but you have to touch your phone or your card to the readers. That's we call the contactless payment method. So that's belong to NFC. But basically, all these technologies are driven by the radio frequency. So that's the main difference. But RFID, the key thing is you don't need to actually put your object on the other one. It's just to have the parameters, so you can do that. So the second, by the 1D and the 2D codes, this is like we can use a very small surface and to contain some information that we like the QR code is also part of it. And the chaosmetry, this is something that we can like put a specific data digit in the object and use some UV LiDAR to read it in the specific environment. The microprinting and also the security threat, somehow it's like the previous category. It's like we put some small invisible element in the surface of the object, but then we use a specific reader like the LiDAR. And then when we incline the object, we can see a difference. It's sometimes we use it in the banknotes. We will use that. And the hologram, ink tagging, and the chemical fingerprint. This is something that we can even see it with our nuke eye, because it's more embed directly in the object. It's connected with just a computer vision. So from this point, I would say all these technology actually are combined with our physical products. And to drive it, we also need a item management platform to collect the data and manage just the capturing and cleaning, collecting, and the formulating. So in that case, we have the whole ecosystem to connect all the items or products. Another concept that maybe you are familiar with, the Internet of Things. This is the module that the whole picture that we can share, from the raw material information and to the authentication events. How can we authenticate the product I bought is the real one or is the fake one? And we can also get the certification information on this object, if it's a certified product or it's a limited edition. And even we push us a little far, we can also link the RFID data with the blockchain. And especially we can use it for the second hand or to avoid maybe the gray market. If the people just say, well, I have got a genuine, very valuable stuff, but actually it doesn't belong to him. And then we will see also some use case about the customer engagement. Actually, RFID is not only about the traceability, it's also about enriching customer experience in the retail environment. So this RFID is our today's topic. So let's start with a video and travel with Lucy, and by using also RFID technology to enjoy her shopping experience. Oh, sorry, I also have to just activate the song. So let's talk about the RFID. Originally, RFID was born actually in the military era environment in the 80s, in the 40s, sorry. And now progressively, and we use it more and more in the other areas, especially in the retail. So the technical principle is that in this RFID chip, we have a storage zone to store and all the data. And the antenna that we use it's actually, it allows the chip to interact with the sensors. So nowadays we have three types of RFID signal communication. The first is that we use a lot in the retail environment is the passive tag that we use that to identify every single item we sell, and it's only working when you put a reader close to the chip. And the second one is semi-passive tag, which is quite similar to the first one, but you have also a battery, which allows the chip working a longer time. And the third way is the active tag. Normally, we use it in the warehouse or the distribution center because these chips can also emitting the frequency directly. And you just need to install some hard device, and then you can get the information. So you don't need a handy scanner to scan that. Regarding the tags, we have two tags: the soft tag and the hard tag. And the soft tag, as I mentioned, we mostly use it into retail area because it's only adapted to the passive communication. When it comes to the active tag, normally we have to use the hard tag because it's bigger, and you can also put battery, a more powerful battery on it. So that's the main, I would say, information about the RFID in the technology per se. Today, regarding its application, it's already used in the various areas and the sectors. For example, the solar panel and agriculture. Because also the food industry, we are really sensitive to where what we eat comes from, and the food security is always the high priority in every country. So we use that already largely in the agriculture field. The IT assets, because today we're living in a data era. So all the data, all the digital assets we are collecting our servers. So these are our big treasures. We use RFID also to track and to authenticate where our server is. In the hospital and the labs, it's also largely used to identify also each patient and the equipment's use from the hospital to the clinic staffs. And the homeland security, also in the passport, we use this technology just to trace also and identify the person. That's why also in the security defense. And also the transport automotive industry, I think most of people here already feel that when you go through a traffic light or payment toll, and you don't need to need to slow down the car, and if you have the e-payment card, and the sensor can feel that, and then you just pay that like this way. And the next area is the retail and fashion. So in the single product, it's tracked from all along the supply chain journey, from the manufacturing plant to the final stores. And also regarding the inventory counting, we use that to improve the efficiency. And as you can see in the previous video, we can also combine this technology with the membership card if you are doing a CRM program. So the luxury and cosmetics usage is quite similar to the retail and the fashion, except that for the luxury industry, because the single item value sometimes can be very high, so maybe the requirement of identification is also very demanding on that. Museum and art gallery, we can also use RFID to track anonymously because this is very important, a visitor's journey in the museum, and to know, yeah, maybe what kind of paintings or objects that are more interested in the audience. Then maybe accordingly we can adjust also the exhibitions area, and the schools and the libraries, because the borrow and the booking row sometimes alone can take a very long time if you scan the one by one. So with RFID, it can also simplify the librarian's life. Yeah. Regarding the market, as we can see, it's a faster growing market. Today, we have like 17 billion US dollars. The markets on that, which include not only the hardware, the tags, but also the software, and also the passive and active RFID targets. In the retail area, which actually occupies almost half of this market, so which is really huge. So RFID, as we see in the first slide, can implement the all critical, the business stage, from the raw material, the eco-responsible, and to know where our raw material come from. Is there the quality being verified and checked, and for the security and the sanitary, to see these raw materials pass through which distribution channels, and of course the last one, the regulation compliance, especially when it comes to the food. And the finished goods authentications, it's more about to ensure the customers that the products they buy is real. It's not just something that we faked, or you just got cheated on that. And also the operational traceability, we can also understand and visualize from the end-to-end process, the whole product journey. And also another advantage is we can give you a 360 view about the stock real update. And last one is the certification about the product. The last one, the customer experience enhancement, is if we understand how our customer behave in the stores and how they try the products with like connected fitting room, we can also optimize the experience and understand sometimes when an item or product isn't really sold very well, and for what reason. And therefore, for the after sales service, they can also easily target their products and offer them the tailored service according to the products they bought. So from the supply chain area, so from the plants, where can we put the tag initially? It's very important, because the earlier that you put the RFID tag, the more accurate that information and the traceability you can have. So then as soon as we finish the manufacturing, normally, we send them to the packagers. And for some small items, you can also put the tag on the package instead of the single item, because sometimes, maybe we don't need to track every single item, because the cost is also a topic or subject very important to think about. And then when we go to the distribution center, according to the RFID's data, and we know, this product we should deliver to which store or to which local distribution center. Even the order from e-commerce, we can track with that, because the final destination can also be a particular customer directly. So in terms of the levels of maturity for RFID, here we can see like two dimensions. The first one is customer centricity of RFID, because today we all know all the brands, all the products really became customer centric. So when we start, just before we even implementing RFID tags or technologies, we always have to think about the usage and the value that we can bring to our customers first. And also regarding the adoption within the retail chain, we have the product categories, also the volume, and also the number of stores. So from those two dimensions, we can see effectively luxury and industries. They are already in the mature phase because on the volume and number of stores, but they also have this kind of customer first mindset to apply the RFID. And the health, beauty, and the fresh product shoes, or maybe they are still in the construction way because there are some limits and the technical constraints. And for the last part, investigation phase, optical and hard goods, even grocery, maybe for the time being, the cost of RFID is still a long debate. But how can we calculate actually the gain that from the RFID compared to the cost? Maybe that we will find another answer, to help them accelerate on the exploration phase. Here I want to also share a case that recently we've done actually with a French high fashion luxury leader. So the initiative actually came directly from the house. The C-level director, he says, like the global, because he wanted to do this project in a global level. So for them, today they want just apply RFID, which enables a single piece management of their products and support a full traceability and authentication processes. And it can not only increase the operational efficiency at boutique level, but also prepare the conditions to prepare in the future if they have even more stores to be opened. So here, I just want to highlight the last two areas that we talked. It's about operational efficiency and also the client experience. Well, for the operational efficiency is some KPI that we can easily identify because the speed, the accuracy, and the delivery time, well, it's more tangible. But for the client experience, it's more about the qualitative aspect because you cannot see the effect immediately, but in the long term, especially maybe for like luxury brand, a customer experience and their service is something they really care about to offer to their clients. So the approach for the client experience is more like test and learn. We started with a small VIP and we check out how the customer even reacts to this technology and how also the internal sales associates accept this technology. And then of course we find out some input and we just improve the process. So the tag actually is placed on the product. All the products we have already scoped and to decide to which product we want to use RFID, and the contain the series number linked to the data. So it's like every single product has their ID card, even though I think that the level of granularity is even smaller than the SKU, because SKU sometimes you don't make difference from the size, but here yes. And the serial number containing the tag, it can be read remotely with a handy scanner, and also with some physical readers that installed in the warehouse. So from the benefits we got for the quantitative side is optimizing the global inventory management, and also have a local view from into the store itself, and the empowerment and optimization of receiving operation, because with the huge quantity of products that we receive, maybe in warehouse, in boutiques, sometimes the menu actions just cannot handle that. So if you have this RFID scanner to do that in a very short time, it's really, really I think useful and valuable for these staff. The qualitative is what I mentioned regarding the customer experience. And when a customer has a more personalized demand, and in a very short lapse time period, if a sales associate can help him identify what he wants, it can also improve the customer satisfaction. So here is the whole supply chain from the manufacturing to the final boutiques, and each milestones where we actually implemented the RFID tags and also the item and the data. So from the sourcing tag in the manufacturing and in the global distribution center, on the packing side, and the shipping, when we of course send our products to the local distribution center, we always want to have this tracking information. And once the products are received in the local distribution, there's a same process, and to distribute to the local boutiques or e-commerce customers. And then when it comes to the boutique, we also have this receiving step. And mobile stock taking is what I said. When you receive these products, if you count them one by one with the single barcode, it will take a lot of time. But with RFID, you can do that just in very short, like several seconds, matter of seconds. And the location, you can easily identify where my product is located to find it. And also when you handle some product return, and you can quickly know where this product come from. And then how can I just resend back to our manufacturing, and which service line and the manufacturing line actually produced this product. If it's about a serious number, and then we can also just retrieve all these sold products and precisely. And the transfer, selling, and security is also the other areas that the RFID is applied. The timeline, is quite long because we really started with this client in the very early stage to the lab phase, because they were still investigating and the stability of this technology. In the very beginning, we launched 2 proof of concepts in Europe and in Asia, just to test all the hard devices and the functionalities. And since 2018, we also then we started to select the technology supplier and also the tech supplier to be sure that they have also this capability to help us to do the rollout in the worldwide. And then we started the pilot phase, because in the meantime, there's also other peripheral systems upgraded. The RFID technology, the system we used, need to be aligned with that in order to construct a whole Internet of Things platform. So then we picked up 2 pilot distribution centers and 5 pilot boutiques to test in a larger scale, but not still worldwide, because we still want to be careful in terms of usage. And then we started also put the source tag, and then we went through the implementation to the platform in the 3 global distribution centers. And since this year, we are progressively deploying this technology to the rest of the boutiques that we have in the scope. But maybe to the next year, until we are going through this phase of stability, we were going further. So here are the main KPIs we generated from this project. So from the stock tagging, and the accuracy we got is 99%, which is really impressive, because usually in each boutique or even in the distribution, we also always have this margin of errors, but 99 is just I think it's a bigger step further on that. And the reception, as I said, it's also a very strong point that we show the efficiency of the technology from 5 minutes per parcel to 30 seconds, because FID allows actually to scan to receive in a large amount on that. And the shoe pairings, as each product has his same identity, so we will never mistake their size or their foot. If it's the left foot, we can immediately correct if we find the two left shoes together. And the search, because we have this very strong management platform, so we can easily also find and locate the product stored in the boutique. So what we learn from this journey, so in the real beginning, when we need, of course, to review all the existing process on that to understand what are the discrepancy and the gap analysis between what we want to achieve and what we have. And then we'll do a second process to evaluate the technology and lead a change management, because the change in this kind of scale project, we cannot just expect technical implementation and then to tell your staff, come on, you just deal with that. We need to sensibility to offer the sensibility to them and to let them understand the technology and the usage and accompany them from in the very beginning, and train them and also share the project progress all along the project. Build IT and infrastructure. As RFID is still a very, I would say, cutting edge technology. So it has a very impact on the whole eco IT system. So in that case, even the peripheral systems, they got upgraded. So we have to be sure it can support RFID systems interaction. And also the security also is a very important element, because if you want to do the authentication and every product has his same ID, we need to be sure there's no technical deficiency on that. A project in a global level, we also need a very strong project management office to handle the whole project from the scoping until the final implementation. So the tagging is more than a label for the sourcing tag, because the tagging is not only a chip that we offer some information, but it's also it's related to every single milestone of the supply chain. So we need to be sure that the tagging is also interacting to each other with the data support. Thinking product and the usage, as I mentioned, the customer usage and experience is the first thing we have to think before implementing it. We have to understand what we do with that. No tag, no product. If the product doesn't work and also have some deficiency, so we will not put it on the product. So it's a decision to make. In the operation efficiency level, the parcel and the real time is the key, because we don't want to disrupt the lead time of the delivery. So we have to be sure that technology can seamlessly adapt it to this new the original process. And the IT scalability, because when we go along with the rollout, so we have more and more boutiques and end users. So we have to be sure that the ID system can be also as well as performant as that we expected. And the distribution center operator, we need to also get them on board in the beginning to make them familiar with the process and also the new usage. And the last point in the operational efficiency and in the boutique, so we also have to train the sales associates and also the receivers in the boutiques to make sure that they understand the usage. And we will also, of course, offer the change management and support them from A to Z. And the last one, the pilot in all location before rollout. It's what we said because this technology is still need to be tested before you go through the whole regions. So always started with MVP or pilot on that. Some other learnings from other projects. As it's a technology project, it's still some limits and the constraints on that. So when it comes to the small size liquids and full metal, and also the packaging, the metal packaging, we have to be careful because the RFID it sometimes can be interfaced with this material. So and when we use it, or maybe the product you are selling is in the kind of category. So we have to do a specific analysis on that. The samples and the test. So, because we want to be sure that when you give these products, and you can trace the we have to be sure. And the high product density, if this product is physically with very dense materials, so maybe the effect of RFID will be also reduced. So this is the care point on that. And the regulation, of course. So in some regions, especially the cosmetic regulation requires also the expiration date control. We have to remember to integrate this data on our RFID. So here just the two slides I want to share because the local, especially in APAC, this RFID vendors, all the devices, hardwares, the softwares they are offering. And the other slide is about industry that they are involved in. And today we also have very have pleasure have one of them with us, the Avery Dennison. So now I want to invite them just to do a very demonstration to show the magic maybe of the RFID on that. They are, just for information, they are also the key supplier of the project that I just showcased. Yeah.
Hi, thanks, Queenie, to have me here. I am Ling from Avery Dennison. So I'm my pleasure to be here to do a demo with you later, how RFID works and compare with other technologies especially. So first of all, let me have a quick introduce who we are, Avery Dennison. We are a US-based company. We are a Fortune 500 company, specialized in material science. So you probably didn't see our logos, but actually we are every day with you. For example, you see those shampoos, FMCG food, as long as you see label, pressure sensitive label, so it's like stickers. You can see even with your everyday parcel, express parcels, you will see an e-will bill, right? So have your name, have your address. Actually, the material is from us. So we are the inventor actually for the pressure sensitive label, this kind of we always so-called sandwich structure. For this particular BU, actually is they are linked with all the other industrial segments. But we also have another BU, which is I came from, we call intelligence label. It's part of the RBIS. It's very focused on retail. So most of you will see those are top, especially in the apparel, top customers. They are the top players. They are our customer. For example, you will see Decathlon or Polo, or they are actually our customers. And they are actually, we started working with them 20 years ago to understand the whole process and their pain points, which is a traditional label, which is cannot solve. Then we together with them to develop this RFID technology to solve their issues and the pain points. I wanted to echo just now Quentin mentioned about the strengths or the benefits of RFID, especially in the end-to-end traceability and how it works, especially you have a very longer or very complex the value chain, then you will see the better ROI for you to drive RFID adoption. All right, so, okay. Actually, we are the largest. Just now I saw a long list, but we are the largest UHF RFID partner in the world. And the last year, we acquired the second largest one, so-called Smart Truck, in Europe as well. So right now, we have strengthened our product portfolio to more consumer or apparel focus to industrial as well. So right now we already in we actually established the China team last year to focus on more than just apparel. We have right now focused on supply chain and also aviation, pharmaceutical, healthcare, automotive, and industrial. Food as well, those are vertical segments. You will see we have more than 1,700 patents related for RFID. We also have the most sustainable processing ways for RFID inlay, so-called, compared with all the other companies. They are using the our technology actually have a minimum environmental the impact to the environmental. So this is how we have the pattern in our processing. You probably know ARC. It's like the SGS kind of the certification for the RFID. Some of the products they also have the ARC certification, but every denizen we are the only one to have the certification on the quality, because you will see just now if you still remember, Quentin showed you the last year, the shipment of the RFID, right? But we delivered 12 billion. So more than 70% of the products actually comes from our manufacturing. So we have been proved we can have the quality consistency. And we have our manufacturing and labs over the world. So welcome to you. Actually, recently we have launched our lab for logistic lab in Shanghai. So maybe you can site visit our lab to see how it works in the real life. Okay, right. That's it. Thanks. So I wanted to just now actually I think I really like the page just now Quentin showed with you the learning from the project, especially RFID project implementation. What makes us differentiate in this industry, I think, is we started from 20 years ago. So failure teaches success. So we learn from our customer together, and especially in the implementation. So you will see why we will have this kind of the label and why we need to have this kind of the hard label. Although they are all RFID, but they solve different problems. So especially for your industry, which is not from apparel, because it's not in the mature level, right? Just now Quentin to show you. If you are in the different mature level, but we have a lot of the success case already even in China, in express industry, in food industry, and also in the 1PL, 3PL. So we solve the problem. It's mainly focused on the application, starting from how do you pallet, we so-called how the way you palling, the process you palling. So whether the inbound, outbound, what kind of the hardware you need to associate with this so-called tag and the software together. How do you link with your WMS SAP system and to make this is more efficiency. So from printing and encoding, tagging process, and how do you need to print and encode. And even in your tag process, because as long as you wanted to achieve the efficiency, you need to have the bulk read capability, right? But as we mentioned, in different kind of the substrate, the performance of the RFID could be different, vary. So you need to have the testing. So the pilot and if you think about the whole value chain, which process you need to choose to pick for the POC is also very important. This is our value to work with like the bearing point together to evaluate your process. Then we will determine how do we have a planning for the POC and even the implementation process. Okay, I wanted to invite our PM. Oh, video. Okay, sorry. Oh, yeah. How you link your retail and your supply chain. how this achieved. Let's have our PM Mel to show you how this works. So I return this to you. So in this bag, actually have a total 20 pieces of the tag. So if you imagine you're using barcode to scan each one, about at least 4 to 6 seconds, right? So for you to complete this 20, imagine this is 20 boxes. So you need to scan one by one before you ship out and to do the ship verification. But with RFID, this is a portable reader.
About the traditional labels and the RFID labels. For traditional labels, as we know that there is only barcode or QR code on the labels. So we need to use a scanner to scan all the labels one by one. So it takes lots of time. Yeah, it takes us lots of time. So that's why we need to use RFID. And for RFID labels, that we can use a scanner to scan all the labels at one time immediately. And all the data will be recorded into our scanner and upload to our system, so that it is a very easy way and good way for us to manage our supply chain. And now I will going to show you how to use the RFID application.
So it's all those green, you will see you can see the green actually is because they have been rated and recorded. So imagine this is a handheld, right? But it can be linked to your WMS. So linked to your work order, linked to your ship order, and even with the date information. So imagine this is a food. So first in, first out is always easy to say, but very difficult to implement in the practice. But if you really is linked with your WMS system, so if you have some food, some batch which is not the earliest one, that you have alert to tell you, okay, please go back to your store. There is even an earlier product expiry date. You need to ship out first. So this is kind of thing you need to have to link with your system. Then it works even better, right?
Yeah.
So you just now you see we say if it's barcode, you have to read one by one, and in front, let's see the other way. If we turn this back, turn our label back. So RFID, because it's a radio frequency, so even without seeing it, we make a challenge. Yeah, we put on a book on it. So we totally no contact. So you still can read it in just several seconds. Because I already linked with the WMS, so I have a 20, so there is a 20. No need to process, but you need to a system to associate with it. Yeah, there will be empower the benefits of it. So when you usually we do ROI together with our partner like the bearing point, we don't just count from a traditional label cost to an RFID cost, but we need to bring in all those elements, efficiency, label cost reduction, and efficiency, traceability, all these things. Then they became a driver for you to adopt an RFID. So yeah.
One comment, because we participated in the very early stage because we did some cases with this design. Because when we did that, the cost is not only about the materials, also about maybe the loss, the loops, and also the inefficiency that can cause a
And usually also this technology associated with your automation project as well. For example, in China Express industry, it's very cost sensitive already, right? But why do they still need to use RFID? Why do they still really paying a very higher, maybe 20 times of the cost of their current label? Why? Because for them right now, they are also using very automation kind of the sorting process. You imagine those converting belt, the speed is 2.1 meter per second. So using AI technology, which cannot help them. The read accuracy rate is about 70%. But with the RFID, they can improve the read accuracy from 70% to 99.7%. So imagine this is the throughput productivity gain, right? Because they can have a faster the sorting process, and with the current the velocity in China logistics, especially for Double 11 events, if they one day you imagine how many parcels has need to be shipped, without adding more labels, actually they can help them to improve the productivity. And with every year 20% of the incremental for the parcels in China, so does it mean after 3 years they need to build a new DC to serve for the new incremental? But with RFID, because improve their daily throughput, actually maybe for them after 5 years they can invest a new DC. So this kind of the thing you need to put them together in your ROI for the RFID projects as a consideration. All right. Yeah. Any questions?
Normally shift time will be 10 years, and we can record and write over 100,000 times.
But also depends on your use case, right? So if you choose the right format, for example, for those, this is usually we're using on the pallet because you need to have a very frequent impact with the trolley or with the loading kind of the machines. So we recommend those kind of the hard tag because you have the impact, the resistance, the protective. But for those, just now I show you those for apparel because of one-time use. So it's also depends on the use case environment. So we will give you a recommendation for which kind of RFID tag or even the hardware. Today you only saw is the handheld, but usually you also will see those as a conveyor belt or reader, also the door fixed reader, even the panel readers. So it really depends on your use case, your process. We will together with our partner to have a recommendation for your process and your company.
That's actually the first learning that I showed. Even before even implementing any like RFID systems or tags, we really need to just run through all the current processes and do a business case because once again, what we can save actually is also what we can earn from this point of view.
I'm sorry, I got two questions. I think the first one, I know AD, you are having the labels, you are having the platform, but really for the bearing point, when you do the, basically what's your role during the setting cycle, during the product implementation, how your two companies work together? This is my first question. Okay. The second question, I think early on you showed an example of client, you do the pilot, you do the POC, and then take a few years for the fully rollout. Just based on your experience, when let's say the retail store, when you want to do this project implementation, what is your experience that when is the best option to the retailer to do the POC, because you have a different function for the factory, for the logistic, for the storefront. What is the typical kind of the POC for the for the retailers?
For the first question, how actually we collaborated together, because every Denison, they have very strong actually know-how on the technology itself, and also even the hardware and software. But actually, bearing in point, we are more oriented on management consultant. So sometimes even we say like actually the business is driving the technology. We will not implement a technology without knowing where we're going. So actually our added value for our customers is to help them actually first to run through all the process and to identify the pain points and also the vision they want to achieve. And then we transform their vision into concrete measures and actions. And then we work together with our technology collaborator. This is the way we will work actually. And the second part is more about the POC, right? The proof of concept, how you choose that. There are two dimensions. The first of all, when you choose the proof of concept or the pilot, normally what we target is also about the volume, because the volume is very important. If the transaction volume is higher, if it works, of course, if we have a store or even distribution center, if they have less volume, of course they will be working. And the second one also is also in the technology wise, because we also have to see through all the other like IT systems and the interaction. If they have a very complete functionalities that can be interacting with RFID platform, then we will also choose that, because we have to be sure every single nodes can be just a network put together. So that's the key criteria. We choose the proof of concept, the volume, the market size, and also the technology maturity.
And usually we will also evaluate, just now as Quentin mentioned, they will help to map out all the process of the value chain, right? So we will come in to help them together to evaluate from the technology implementation standpoint, which one will be the most complex city to be involved. Usually we will suggest to pilot to involve, at least involve the part in the pilot, because if the most complex one has been proved to be success, so it should be easier for you to implement in the other the value chain, right? So this is one of our recommendation.
And another point, just also I mentioned, because some materials also it's very sensitive to RFID technology. I think in that point we also need their input on how can we avoid this interference maybe between RFID, the radio frequency, and the material itself. Maybe they have other technology solution on that.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Do we have also some question online? Or in the room as well?
We cannot read it.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Anyone here in the room, maybe?
Or any other questions? Okay.
So if you are interested to see our lab, which is in Shanghai, you can contact Bearing Point. So we can organize some live or on-site visit to see that in our lab you can see AGV, and it basically is a stimulation for no-man warehousing. So it's a kind of the you associate with RFID, AGV, and the robots technology together. So I think you can contact the Bearing Point, and we can have to organize
Sure.
together. Yeah.
Of course. And then we can, of course, we have still networking time, then we can talk it later if you're interested. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, sure. You can also follow our WeChat page, of course, to get all the updates of Bearing Point.